All right, let's check our answers for the review. So number one, we were estimating 1/9 of 83, and you didn't have to show work. So you're looking for a compatible number with 9 and something close to 83. Let's see, 9 times 9 would be 81. So think, what's 1/9 of 81? 81 divided by 9 is going to be 9. So that was this one right here, 1/9 of 81. And then number two, we didn't have to show work for. So we're estimating again. 9/10 is almost a whole. So if 9/10 is almost one whole, then 12 would become 13. And 1/4 is almost 0, so 6 and a fourth would round to 6. So it would be 13 times 6. And when you do 13 times 6, you get 78. So that would be C right here. All right, number three, 20 times 3/4. So 20 you would turn into a fraction times 3/4. Go ahead and simplify by dividing by 4. Multiply across. So your answer is 15. Number 4 was 3/4 times 28. So you put a 1 in the denominator so you can multiply across. First I'm going to simplify. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So that would be 21 over 1, which is 21. Okay, number 5 is a half times 3/4. Seriously, there's like no work to be shown for that because you can't even simplify. So you just multiply across. Number 6, 1/4 times 4/5. You can simplify here, divide by 4. So 1 times 1 and 1 times 5. All right, number 7. Now we're getting into multiplying mixed numbers. So number 7 is 1 3/5 times 3/5. So 5, 6, 7, 8/5 times 3/5. You can't simplify. So that would be 8 times 3 is 24. 5 times 5 is 25. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Sweet. Number 8 is 2 1/5 times 1 1/4. So 10 11/5 for 5/4. Simplify, multiply across. All right, 4 goes into 11. How many times? 2 with a remainder of 3. So that's 2 3/4 for number 8. All right, let's go to number 9. For number 9, we had to have the magic portal for dimensional analysis. I'm flipping all these papers. Okay, so number 9, we have to do the setup. So fraction times fraction equals fraction. And number 9 started with 5 cups, and we need to find out pints. So we're going to put cups here so they can cancel out. So we started with 5 cups, and in the portal, 1 pint, 2 cups. So I'm going to put that there to multiply across. So 5 halves of a pint. 2 goes into 5 twice with a remainder of 1. So that's 2 1/2 pints. All right, dimensional analysis. Set it up. Put in the units. So number 10 was you started with ounces and you ended up with pounds. So we started with ounces. We've got to put that in the oven. And we had 64 ounces. And the portal says 1 pound, 16 ounces. I put a 1 in the denominator. Now we can divide these. Let's see. They could both divide by 8, right? 16 divided by 8 is 2. 64 divided by 8 is 8. So that's 8 over 2. Now that can be simplified too. Basically, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So our answer must be 4 pounds. All right, let's go to number 11. 11 gets us into division. So 2 divided by 1/6. Let's turn that into a whole number. 2 divided by 1, or turn the whole number into a fraction. This would be, keep that, change that, flip that, 12 over 1. So that's 12. And then number 12, sorry, papers are falling. Number 12 was 8 divided by 2/5. So I changed that whole number into a fraction. Now let's keep that, change that, flip that, simplify, multiply across. 20 is our answer. Number 13, dividing fractions. 1/9 divided by 2/3. Keep, change, flip. All right, simplify. 1/6. Number 14, let me see what that is. 2/3 divided by 1/6. So let's keep this, change this, flip this, simplify, divide by 3, multiply across. Oh, 2 times 2 is 4, so that's 4. Now we're dividing mixed numbers. So in 15 we have 2 divided by 3 and 2/3. So 2 is 2 over 1. 3 and 2/3 is 9, 10, 11. All right, so now we need to keep this, change this, flip this. Cannot simplify. Multiply across. 6/11. All right, number 16. We have 7 1/2 divided by 1 1/4. All right, so that would be 14 plus 1 is 15 halves, divided by 4 plus 1 is 5/4. Keep this, change this, flip this, simplify. 5 divided by 5, 15 divided by 5, 2 divided by 2, 4 divided by 2, 3 times 2 is 6, 1 times 1 is 1, answer is 6. 17, story problem. Okay, 17, it took Maury, let's look here. It took Maury 2 5/6 hours to drive to the beach. It took Jason twice as long. So how long did it take Jason? This times 2. Twice as long. So 2 5/6 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 5, 17/6 times 2 over 1. Let's see, 2 divided by 2, 6 divided by 2, multiply across. And let's do 17 divided by 3. Okay, 3 times 5 is 15, remainder of 2. So that's 5 2/3, 5 2/3. So it took him 5 2/3. Now wait, because then it says, about how long did it take him? 5 2/3 is closest to 6. So that would be 6 hours. All right, or seriously, you could have just done, this is about 3, this is 2 times 3, would have been 6. Wow, that would have been better if I would have noticed that about how long. Hey, either way it works. So if you would have just written 3 times, shown that this is 3, 3 times 2 equals 6, that would have worked too. Number 18. Jason has 3/4 ton of stone to spread equally in 3 yards. So he has this much stone and he's dividing it up into 3 different yards. How much stone will be spread in each yard? So you have 3/4 divided by 3. So keep that, change that, flip that, simplify. There's the 1/4 of a ton in each section. Let's look at the vocab. Communitive property, that is when you add and multiply, you can change the order of the numbers. Mixed number is a number that has a whole number and a fraction. Improper fraction is a fraction with a numerator greater than the denominator. Convert is to change, like converting measurement units. Dimensional analysis is with multiplication and it converts measurement units. And reciprocal, make sure the number is a fraction and flip the numerator and denominator. Okay, that's the review. The test is basically the same thing with different numbers.